volume's been off the whole time. There we go. So for those of you watching the first 30 seconds or minute of silence in this video, I'm sorry. Now the volume's turned on. So we factored it. It cancels out whenever it cancels. You get a hole. And there we have it at x equals negative 5. Now once it canceled out, we're just left with x minus 5. What kind of graph is that? Y equals mx plus b. It's just a line. And also, once we've got this, we're going to be able to figure out the coordinates of our hole. We know that the hole happens when x is negative 5. Now it's no longer a non-permissible value when it's a line. And if I plug in minus 5 for x, minus 5 gives me minus 10. So a quick sketch of this graph. I know that it has a y-intercept of minus 5. It has a slope of 1, so up 1 over 1. I'll put another point on here, for example, when x is 5, y is 0. I know that my graph looks like this. I also put a hole here at minus 5, minus 10. So it looks exactly like a line, except it has an additional hole in it. Second one, can we factor the top?
Yeah, you
can factor out a 2. Leaving us with 2x plus 1. So we factored out the top to see if there would be something that would cancel. Nothing cancels here. So in this one, you're going to have a vertical asymptote at the non-permissible value. Red pen, dotted line, at x equals 2. Now from yesterday, is this a group 1, group 2, or group 3 graph? Group 2, because the degree is the same on the top and the bottom. And group 2 had the characteristic of having a horizontal asymptote. We look at the highest powers. The highest power in the whole thing is an x. And if you just think about 4x over x, that simplifies to 4. And that tells you at y equals 4, there's going to be another asymptote. So to graph this one, you've got your asymptotes. All you need to know is one point on this side of the asymptote and one point on this side of the asymptote. Maybe I'll start with an x-intercept or a y-intercept. If you plug in 0 for x, can you see on the top you get 2? On the bottom you get negative 2. 2 over negative 2 is negative 1. That's going to be your y-intercept. So when x is 0, y is negative 1. So once I have a point in that section, I would know my graph looks like this. If you try to make the top of this fraction 0, 1 is the top equal to 0, you're going to get this point, negative 1/2, comma 0. Now both of those points are in the same section. So in order to find something in this half, because I want to know, is my graph on the bottom part in these asymptotes or on the top part, I'm going to pick an x value here after 2. 3 is the next x value. I'm going to pick an x value bigger than 2 to see what happens when you plug in 3 into the original equation. Can you see the bottom of the fraction is going to be 1? And the top of the fraction, 4 times 3 plus 2, is going to be 14. So I'm going to label a point way up here at 3, 14. And then I know that this section will look like that. And that's how you would graph one that has a vertical and horizontal asymptote. So the questions for this one, just question number 5.